Boys and girls, today we are diving down to the bottoms of the ocean. I'm going to show you how you can mix your colors together to make various tints and shades, and also how to use your chalk to create these transparent jellyfish. Let's get started. Using a circle tracer, draw a circle up near the top of your paper. You don't want it up at the very top because you need to leave room for more drawing that we're going to be doing. But it does not have to be in the middle or at the bottom. It needs to be up near the top, either at the left side or the right side. Around that circle, add 3 more circles so that you have them all concentric, meaning they're all sharing the same center. You want to leave enough space between each circle to be able to fit your paintbrush inside, so keep that in mind while you're drawing. And now we are ready to paint. I went ahead and numbered all of my circles. That way while I'm talking to you, you'll understand which circle I'll be using. You do not need to number your circles because in the end you might still be able to see those numbers after you've painted. It's up to you if you'd like to number it, but just understand that you might still be able to see those numbers when you're all done painting today. Now we're going to be using 3 colors. We're going to be using blue as our pure hue, our color that has not been mixed with anything. And then we're going to change this blue to make it lighter by adding white to create a tint or a lighter value. And then we will also be adding black to the blue to make a darker version, a darker value, or a shade of the blue. Let's start off by using just our pure hue. You're going to dip your brush in to that color. You're not mixing it with anything. This is just the pure form of that color. And you're going to paint circle number 3. It's best if you paint with the shape of the circle. So your brush needs to curve with those lines. Now, without washing my brush, I still want that pure hue left on this. I'm going to turn this into a lighter value, a tint. So all I'm going to do is dip into the white. I still have blue on my paintbrush. And now I'm going to start painting circle number 2. This is going to become a little bit lighter when these 2 colors mix together on the paper. I'm still following the curves of my circle. If you need more paint, dip into the white. Once again, without washing my brush, I still have that new tint on my brush. I'm going to dip into the white some more. And I'm going to paint circle number 1. This should have very little blue, if any at all, showing. This is almost pure white. When you're done painting circle number 1, wash out your brush. Now so far we have created our hue and then 2 tints. We're looking up towards the surface of the ocean water. This would be where the light or the sun would be shining down into the depths. Here we're going to be getting darker as we go down towards the floor of the ocean. So we're going to be making what are called shades. This is where we add our pure hue plus black. So we have to load up our brush again, dip into the blue. This time, you do not want to use as much black as you did white because black is such a strong, powerful color. So all I'm going to do is dip the corner of my brush into the black. That's it. And then I'll paint circle number 4. When you run out of paint on your brush, do that again. Dip into the blue and then just a corner into the black. Now the same thing that we did with our tints, I am not going to wash my brush. I have my new shade on here, but for the last part of my paper, circle number 5, this needs to become even darker. So I'm going to dip into the blue again, and this time dip into the black. You don't have to do a corner, you can do a whole length of your brush. And you got to paint this entire space. So the whole paper is going to be painted once you're done. Now that my ocean water is completely painted, I need to give this time to dry. So this is a perfect time for me to put my painting onto the drying rack or any other safe space for this to dry without being bumped, and then clean up all of my supplies. And we'll come back to this when this is all dry. So I've given my painting enough time to dry, and now I'm ready to begin drawing my jellyfish. There are over 2,000 species of known jellyfishes, and they come in a variety of colors, so you can choose any color you would like for your jellyfish today. Jellyfish are known for their soft umbrella bell-shaped bodies, and that's what we're going to draw first. In the foreground, here in the front of our picture, this is where our biggest jellyfish is going to be. He's the closest one to us. So let's start by drawing that umbrella shape. You can make it flare out on the sides, or it can just come straight down, and then connect it with a wavy or scalloped line. Now I want to retrace that line so that I have a good amount of chalk dust. The outer edge of the jellyfish is going to be the most opaque, where it blocks the light and we can't see through it. And this is why we are adding the most amount of chalk dust on the outside. Now I'm going to use my finger to brush this chalk inwards towards the middle of my jellyfish. So he's going to go from the most opaque on the outside to the most transparent or see-through in the middle. If you have any extra chalk dust, you can tap it off onto your messy mat. Then using that same piece of chalk, give your jellyfish some tentacles. They can have as few as 8, and some jellyfish have been known to have hundreds of tentacles. So you get to pick the number that you'd like to include. And now to give a sense of space to our artwork, I want you to draw 2 more jellyfish, one in the middle ground or the middle of your paper, and one way off in the background. He's going to be the smallest guy. He's in the background. To help emphasize where the light source is coming from, on your jellyfish closest to where that white circle is, you want to add a white highlight. And finally, to help emphasize the oceany environment of your picture, use your chalk to add the sandy bottom, some seashells or some seaweed or anything else that you might find down at the bottom of the ocean. And there's your completed value scaled jellyfish. Thanks for creating with me today, guys.